Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have disasters decoded. Yes, we have more disasters. After the one with the hurricane down in Texas, Texas Rescue Squad thing just a few days ago. Man, this is a lot. This is, if you're at all upset by such things, the tremendous loss of life, and also the kind of Casey Kasem's top 10 disasters format they have for this series, you might want to stay away from this. It is fascinating just to see. I mean, these are things that have happened. They're not just what if this happens, how could this happen. It is literally things that have happened. They go back as far as I think 1974 between these top 10 air and train disasters. Yeah, I feel like, how everything seems to have to be a listicle in order to grab people's attention on the internet. I don't know if that's even still a thing anymore, but you have to have the top 10 hottest stars, top 5 sci-fi movies, like whatever, just everything's a list, and that makes people, when they can consume things in small chunks, it makes it more interesting. And in this, you understand that even though this is a series, by the way, a series from 2023, 2024, it's one season, 9 episodes so far, unless there's more coming, I don't know. But there's, they throw it into lists, and it takes the edge off of it, I guess, rather than going, here's more disasters, more hundreds of or thousands of people dead because of a train crash or an airplane crash. They go, you get to take, number 10, and then here's a bunch of information and footage and digital kind of recreations of this sort of looks sciencey and technological, sort of disconnects you from any real footage of, rather than trying to recreate it with like realistic CGI footage, which is unsettling as well. They make it like it's a graph of, here's an airplane and it's tick 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 tick, and then it's going down like that. Or here's a train and another train, and they're gonna crash, and here's what happens when they crash. It makes it seem all so detached. Okay. It's and then after they show you all that stuff, then they go number 9. So you can just sort of reset your brain for the next disaster, number 8. And they often seemed like I don't know how they determined whether something was more disastrous than the next. I don't know if it's the amount of death or how big the explosions were or what, but they seem to go back and forth between planes and trains. I think only once or twice did they happen to do 2 train crashes in a row. But yeah, and a lot of them, I think more than half of them, about half of them take place in the US. And the first few were all within the last year. And this is not even counting everything that we've just experienced since January 20th, when that happened. That train wreck happened. So and there's suddenly planes just crashing into each other, whether it's on the tarmac or in the sky, or they're doing it seems to be happening a lot more now. And it's not for the reason they say it is. Just to be clear. But yeah, you've heard some of these. If you're American, you've heard of the American ones. Just in the ones from 2023. Let's just say there's no Sully Sullenberg in this, because people survived that one. So that plane certainly crashed in the Hudson, but no, that's not nearly bloody enough for it to make it. I've lost track mentally of all the different examples I was going to share with you, but there was the one of them is the tsunami that happened around India, in that area of the world, and it caused, the tsunami, of course, came inland and started destroying things and homes and people. And of course, trains are running. India is tens of thousands of trains constantly running, constantly overpacked with people. Even if you saw that water coming, getting hit by a massive wave while in a train packed with people means a lot of you are not walking away from that. Yeah, it's like I said, if you're not really looking to be, I don't want to be Debbie Downer in this, but it's not an uplifting thing. They give you a little ray of sunshine at the end. They're like, well, the odds of something like this happening to you is very slim. I just don't want to get on an airplane now. I want to go to Japan. I want to travel. But now I'm like, do I, I know, yes, I know it's very rare, but since January 20th, it seems to be happening a whole lot more. Come on. Oh, the one of them that I remembered that was the very first one, number 10 was the East Palestine train crash in Ohio that surprisingly was only in 2023 and caused so many chemicals to explode and infect the land and the people and the animals all around there because... And they go through all the different reasons as to why it happened, how it happened, and so it's not saying this is scary and horrible and awful that it happened. They also tell you why, because that's one of the things we all ask when we see these just tremendously awful accidents and crashes, and some of them are not accidents. Some of them, there's one listed in here at least that features a man who literally took over a plane and crashed it in the side of a mountain in Germany or France. And, but most of these are accidents. We go, why? Why is this happening? I thought we were dealing with professionals. I thought people knew what they were doing. Why is this happening? Well, very often the answer is lack of training or lack of, say, just proper maintenance on things. So next time you're on a plane and they're like, hey, sorry, we got to deplane everybody. We found an issue. Maybe we shouldn't complain. Like, I was just on a plane back to California at one point and there was just too much fog. It was in January. There's too much fog near the Long Beach airport. And yeah, they were like, we're not landing. You're going to have to go to Las Vegas. Okay. I got to sleep in Las Vegas airport that night. But they could also have taken us fully into the Long Beach airport, which is not very big, by the way. There's not a whole lot of extra airstrip space, just in case you feel like landing blind. Like, if they had landed with us, there's a much higher chance of them just literally crashing into the 405 or whichever direction we come in. We come up from the south usually when we land and go north. So yeah, there's a really good chance that something horrible could have happened. We could have bumped into the Goodyear blimp or something if we gone far enough. Yeah, it's best they turned around and dropped us off for a night in Las Vegas and then Arizona. That eventually waited for the sun to come up and all of it to burn off, and we finally were able to land in California. But these decisions are thankfully made by people who know better than I, as frustrated as I was, and I wanted to get home. So yeah, thank you for the tangent, but no, this is the kind of stuff that when it comes into consideration, when people don't take that extra measure of carefulness and rely on the training, hopefully they have some, well, bad things can happen. So this is just, I only watched one episode, and that was the planes and trains one. There are 9, and there's disasters at sea, space disasters, motorsports disasters, collisions, which sort of seems like a part 2 of the first episode, expeditions, global threats, collapses, and dams. So that's a lot. There's a lot of variety in the whatever destruction you need to have decoded. Well, here you go. That's all I can really say about that. Give this a shot if you can stomach it. One episode, you're going to be reminded of some stuff you really wish you had forgotten and stuff you didn't know about. We don't necessarily hear every little plane crash that happens in France or or even remember, there's a plane crash that happened in Washington, D.C. when it was 1982. And there's other crashes in 1979 and 74, and train crashes where they're just literally just barreling right toward each other because people make mistakes and people's lives are affected by it horribly. So, yeah, if you can stomach it, I say give one episode a shot, see how it goes, and then you might be interested in the rest. But it's good to have context of going to say, hey, this is a horrible thing that happened, and reliving it and getting it all in your stomach, and then going, why did it happen? It doesn't make it any better to know why it happened. Because we can ask that question, as we do, why did it happen? It doesn't make it any better, but there's hopefully understanding. And certainly because of these accidents, so many new rules, regulations for various airlines were all set in place to protect people's lives. Those are being removed now, in America at least, so good luck. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 109. 109. 109. Oh, I have a pretty voice, don't I? Okay, this falls under the red category, the documentaries, but it's not a documentary, I don't think. This is more, the red stuff is all documentaries, reality shows, and musical performances, performances. So this falls into that category, and I'm feeling it's country music. Lainey Wilson, Bell Bottom Country. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus, so I gotta watch it. Yeah, there's certain things that I've blocked from watching, like I'm not watching all the ESPN Plus stuff because it's not. I mean, yeah, you can watch sports and stuff on Disney Plus, but it's not the only place you can see it. You can see it on ESPN Plus, so I'm keeping that separate. But in this case, this is something that's natively on Disney Plus, and maybe you can see it somewhere else. I don't know. But yeah, it's not on Hulu, it's not on ESPN Plus, it's not on National Geographic Channel. This is Lainey Wilson, Bell Bottom Country, on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye.